wrestling. Talk about that fight with Dalen Rushing. You're still recovering a little bit. Tell us a little bit about that fight.
Yeah, I'm recovering good. It was a bare knuckle fight, so it's very unforgiving, right? Like a jab in bare knuckle is not like a jab in boxing. There's no pads. When I woke up that morning, I didn't plan on having a fight of the year nominee, fight of the night nominee, or it was fight of the night, but it's in petition for fight of the year. And me and this guy went to war, man. It was one of the craziest fights you're ever going to see.
What's important to note, though, he's recovering. You went out for a steak dinner the next night. He may come and train here with you in Albuquerque. You're being trained by Mike Winklejohn. So there is, it's no vicious, hard feelings at all. You guys are friends. You may train together.
Yeah, he's going to come down here. We went to dinner. We cracked some jokes at each other about showed me a picture of him punching me. He said, look at this picture. It looks like it hurt. And I showed him one. This looks like it hurt. Matter of fact, we were in the same hospital bed next to each other.
Reminds me of Rocky, too. Yeah. Remember Rocky's down the way and then Apollo Creed?
Yeah, we both said we ain't doing this again either. There is no rematch. There is no rematch.
Remember what Apollo Creed said? Ain't going to be no rematch. Don't want one.
That's what we both said in that hospital room. We said, you know what? There's no rematch needed, bro. We're good.
Not between you two.
No.
But you will training right now.
Oh, we're both going to fight. Yeah, I'm training again. You mean?
For the champion. The champion in Cuba.
I'm looking to take
Talk
that belt.
a little bit about him. Yeah,
I'm looking to take that belt from the champion. He lives in Cuba. He's a Cuban guy. He's a very tough fighter. But I'm gonna bring Dalen out here. He's gonna help me, and we're gonna bring that belt back to U.S.
That's one of your goals, and you've got maybe a boxing match coming up to get ready. You fought Muay Thai, kickboxing. You've done it all as far as the fight game, and each one of those being in the cage, being in the ring, they're all different disciplines. There's some great pictures there of your fight.
Yes, sir.
Cody, I've got to ask you this though. You're a state champion at Los Lunas as far as wrestling. you fought your first fight, amateur MMA fight in 2008. Record is 4-0 as an amateur. You also had a football scholarship. You played two sports there. But you hit a bump. You hit a bump in the road, and we want to talk a little bit about that. I want to let you explain that and where you are as far as your life now.
Yeah, when I was 18 years old, I had some scholarships, right? I planned on going well, first of all, I always planned on going to college and be a professional athlete. I'd always told my teachers in school, they asked me, what are you going to do when you grow up? I'm going to be a professional athlete. And I was on course to do that. I had my scholarships. Everything was looking good, right? I made some mistakes in my life, and I served some time in prison. And when I was in prison, I lost my scholarships, obviously, and I was watching TV, and I seen Diego Sanchez fighting.
Right.
I was like, I can do that. That's a pro. I was a pro fighter. I'll be a pro fighter. I came out, became an amateur fighter, then became a pro fighter, and I worked my way to UFC. I fought in China, I fought in Russia, I fought all around the world. It all started in a little wrestling room in Los Lunas, New Mexico, and I've been blessed enough to travel the world off of it. And chase my dreams, and just because I made a mistake, I didn't let it break me. When I did go do my time through, like, oh, Cody, he's done. It's over for him. I didn't let it hold me back. I stayed true to myself. I made some changes and took accountability, and I'm here now. I'm a father, and I preach. I really gave my life to Christ. Is when my life really changed around. Right? I've gave some. I would never think it's possible, but I've given some sermons at church. Which is amazing, and I'm just happy to be here.
I think your message is an important one. People fall down. You mentioned that to me. We get back up. You got back up, and not only did you get back up, you mentioned you gave your life to Christ, but you're helping others in a program see the mistakes that you made, so they don't make. You're mentoring to a lot of other men, and I think that's important. Talk a little bit about that. I'm not giving any names or anything, but talk about how your ministries help maybe some other men. And
I'm a CSW with UHC, and we help guide men that come out of prison and struggling with addiction with things. I've struggled with addiction in my past, and I use the fact of even my fights, right? I'll talk to guys how my fight was hard, right? I had many opportunities where I could have quit and gave up. That's how life is a lot of times. You can quit and give up, or you can just keep fighting. And I tell these guys to keep fighting, and I did it. I chased my dreams. I'm here. Not everybody's going to be a fighter, right? But if you want something, you just got to keep working and you'll get it.
And that's a great message because you mentioned that being in prison when you saw Diego Sanchez. Diego was the winner of the Ultimate Fighter. Diego fought here in town for years, and Diego's a legend. He's obviously a legend. he made a career of that. You said to yourself, I can do that. You're still, no matter what bump you hit in the road, you're still doing that. You're still chasing your dreams. Hey, you might have a chance at the championship for the bare knuckles.
Yeah.
And, what after all you've been through, it was a lot. It's over with now. You're on to a new path. You've got 4 kids. You're married. You got a beautiful life now. You do. But what does that all mean to you after what the path that you were down and now the path you're on now?
It just you got to hold yourself accountable for everything you do, right? And avoid situations and not be selfish sometimes is what I realize. And I've just the path my life is going now is amazing, but I wouldn't be the man I am today if I didn't go through those struggles. And I can't give back the way I do. And for instance, my kids now, right? They're into fighting. They like fighting, and my kids will YouTube me sometimes, and there's videos about my past and who I was and me going to prison. They'll ask me, and I'm honest with my kids. Like, look, I made mistakes, and I repented, and I changed my ways. That's not me no more, and we'll continue to grow. I still got every day. I continue to grow. We all do. It's not over. I'm going to continue to get better. I'm the current world champion for peak right now, so I've got a title right now. And when it comes to going from prison to there, you go to Jackson Gym, you look on the wall, there's a big picture on the wall of Diego Sanchez, one of the best fighters from Albuquerque.
Right, legend.
And there's a picture of me right next to him. So I went from a jail cell to seeing my picture next to his picture. And that just shows, like, you can do anything. You really can if you put your mind to it.
And look where you were. Again, you did your time, you finished it, you completed it, and you're on a very good path now. Family is everything. I'm sure your kids, you've got 2 little ones, 3 and 4, and gosh, at that age there just melts my heart. My granddaughter's 6, so whenever I see her, I hear her little voice, it just kills me. Just melts me, man. So I'm sure they look up to you. They see what you've been through. And you mentioned, we all go through struggles. How do we get out of it? That makes us the person we are. Everyone's going to struggle somewhere in life, unless you're a multi-billionaire, and even they struggle too.
They struggle sometimes the most.
Right. So
money will never stop your struggles.
That's right. That's right. You mentioned they may struggle more than anyone, and we don't see it. We don't see it. But if you're again a veteran of 38 pro fights, 3-0 in Muay Thai, 3-1 in bare knuckle, 2-0, and currently ranked number 2 in the world for BYB bare knuckle boxing. A veteran pro of 38 fights. You fought the USC, looking to become number 1 ranked for bare knuckle boxing. Become world champion for bare knuckle. You're training at Jackson Wink Academy since 2010, and currently a team leader. Talk about Jackson Wink and what they've taught you. I mean, they're legendary. They train Holly, they train Bones Jones, Diego's trained there. Many fighters train there. What's been their approach with you?
With Jackson Wink, they've been through me through hard times. They never turned their back on me when I've made mistakes on my journey, right? And through being a fighter, life is about discipline. And as a fighter, it kept me lined up and being disciplined. And it built me to who I am today. I'm also a coach for Jackson Wink's adaptive program, where I train kids with disabilities, both physically and mentally. So it's made me really appreciate who I am today. Because sometimes I go to the gym and I'm like, man, I don't feel like training today. I'll see one of my kids come in, he has 1 arm, 1 leg, and he's excited to be there. So it keeps me in check. Like, what am I complaining about? How could I not want to be here? Look at this kid. So I've got a lot from that gym. I was outside of fighting, just in life in general, to appreciate what you have.
I don't think there's a better message than that, because if we think we have it bad, somebody else has it worse. I've always said that. We're blessed with what we have, and you training mentally, physically challenged fighters that want to be there with 1 arm and 1 leg. What does that tell you? They don't have what you have as far as the physical abilities.
No, but they got heart.
That's right. That's right.
And at the end of the way, the end of my fight, that's why I won, because I got heart. I had bigger heart than Dalen. He didn't get off the bench in the 3rd round, and I did. And having your heart and believing in yourself at the end of the day is what wins battles in the cage, in the ring, and in life.
And you know what's up? You fought your battles at a young age. You went through them at a young age, and you steeled yourself for the rest of your life. And again, you've got a beautiful wife, kids. That keeps you going. I'm sure every day when you wake up and your little kids come running to you, how does that not melt your heart wherever you're at, man? Whenever my granddaughter runs to me, it's heaven.
Yeah.
So that's got to be an inspiration.
My wife also fights bare knuckle.
Really?
Yeah, so it's
Tell us
great.
about that.
Yeah, she fights for BKFC, and it's surreal sometimes because she'll come home from a fight. You know, it's bare knuckle. We're beat up. But my kids see this so much. Like a typical 3-year-old sees her mom with 2 black eyes and a busted lip, they're going to cry. My daughter's like, oh, did you do good? Did you lose? Did the bad guy beat you up? I mean, that's their question. So it's just...
Let me ask you this. You know, seeing that, you wouldn't be surprised if your daughter wanted to fight someday then. You wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's a rough life, but it's honorable, and I enjoy it, but I support her whatever they do, whatever my kids do. They want to fight, I'll be their biggest fan. If they don't want to fight, that's good too.
Yeah, there's different paths for everybody, and as you mentioned, you and Daylon, and Rick Wright wrote so eloquently about it in the Journal. I read it 3 times because it's like, okay, both fighters, and you told me this, both fighters went off on stretchers. Now you said to me you didn't need to go off on the stretcher after the fight. Daylon probably did. He had a bad cut on his eye. But you said they made you do it. You didn't have to. You could have walked out.
I did not have to go on the stretcher. Insurance reasons, whatever, they made me because I had to go in the ambulance to the hospital. I could have walked. I could have drove myself there. I got to the hospital and I was on the stretcher right next to Daylon. So we talked and we said, let's go get dinner tomorrow. And yeah,
no hard feelings. And
I
think you're at that place now where back in the day, before all this happened, maybe there would have been. Maybe the younger Cody East is different. But where you've been and where you're at now, especially your path, in mentoring others, helping young kids with disabilities, has changed. You can see a changed man right here.
Yes, sir. I'm blessed. I'm blessed, truly.
There's still your eyes on the prize. Eyes on that prize. You still want there's goals. There's goals you want to achieve in the fight game.
I still want to be the champion, right? But if I don't, I'm still winning in life, which is more important to me. My main championship is being a good father and a husband.
Hey, you know what?
And I'm winning in that.
What a great message.
Everything else is icing on the cake, right?
You know what? That's the best message of all. I feel like I'm a winner in life. I've got a great son, a great wife, my granddaughter, my daughter-in-law. That's a win. So whatever happens after that,
it's all icing.
Every day.
Yeah.
So we got about 2 minutes left, but talk about your other goals. You want that bare knuckle. You're going to have a boxing match maybe in April or June. You'll be on a card. But you mentioned, what are your ultimate goals as far as getting that championship? Is there anything beyond that? You're still young. You still got some fights left in you. You mentioned that you'll know when it's time to stop. Right now, the fight game is very active for Cody East. After that, what are your goals? After that, you get that bare knuckle championship. Then what?
Well, and to be the champion, you got to defend it, right? So I'm going to defend it, and we'll see how I feel, but it's hard to imagine myself not fighting, right? But I don't want to be forced to fight. I don't have to fight no more, and of course, we all want to walk away on a high note, and it's fighting that time, right? And I don't got to fight no more, but I still love it. So I'm going to continue to fight because I love it.
It's something you've done for, you're a wrestling state champion, and then you started the MMA in 2008. You told your teachers at a young age you wanted to be a professional athlete, and they probably tried to discourage you because it's tough being a pro athlete, man.
Yeah, everybody wrote me off.
Yeah.
Be real, Cody, be serious. I said, no, I'm going to be a professional athlete. And, I chased my dreams, I did it. So on that message, like, if people try to tell you you can't do stuff, if you believe you can do it, just keep chasing your dreams. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to.
And I think you've proven that. You're still proving that. There's other fights to still have, and of course we wish you all the best health. That's when I think of bare knuckles, I'm like, man, I saw what happened. The after effects, and we all wish you the best of health, the best of luck in achieving your goals. And we sure appreciate you coming on the show today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet. Very nice meeting you. Very
blessed day.
For producer Alden Iwani, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next week on the Sports Desk.